Here's how to restring a floating tremolo double locking bridge like a Floyd Rose or an Ibanez Edge, Edge Low Pro, the Edge Zero, etc., the Goto replacements, all those. So, what you're gonna need are replacement guitar strings, something to unlock the locking nut like an Allen key, something to temporarily block the floating bridge if it's not blocked already. You can get something like a spoon and some towels. You can get a piece of plastic. You could even block the bridge from the spring side by putting guitar picks in there. And I've got a video on how to do this. And you'll need something to cut the guitar strings. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is block the bridge, either with your temporary block solution or do a more long-term style block. This is going to hold the bridge in place. It'll help you tune the strings to relative pitch. Of course, they'll need to be stretched out, but it's going to go a long way to make this easier. Once you've done that, unlock the locking nut. Next, you're going to want to reduce the tension on the strings by detuning the tuning heads on the headstock. This is also a great time to re-level the fine tuners you have on the bridge. Make sure they're not turned too far in or too far out. Once you've done that and the strings are nice and loose, you're going to want to remove them. You can do this a number of ways. You can either cut them around here and then deal with the individual hats, or you can just keep them in place, make sure they're really loose. And then either way, you're going to want to unlock the strings at the bridge, get them out, make sure you don't lose the bridge blocks. And then on the tuning side, you're going to want to feed them through and kind of unwind them and easily pull them out of the tuning heads. If you have locking tuners, you're going to want to unlock those now. Finally, pull the strings out of the tuning heads and remove the old strings. Do this for each string and you can throw them away. So now, if you haven't done it in a few months, half a month, a year, it's a great time to condition the fretboard and clean it. What I like to do is I take some shop towels and I put some lemon oil on them and I rub them on the fretboard, and this will both knock off the dirt and condition the fretboard. To this day, I haven't had a single fretboard crack. So apply the lemon oil several times as it seeps in, depending on how dry the fretboard is. And then after some minutes, just wipe off the excess. So with new strings, there are several ways to do this. You'll notice there's a ball end on one side, and on the other side, if it's a wound string, the winding stops while the string core goes on for a little bit. If it's an unwound string, the string just terminates. So there are several schools of thought. You can either pull the string through the tuning head until the ball end is contacting it, and then you just cut off the string a bit past the bridge, so there's room to stick it in and tune. Don't cut the string at the bridge, or else there'll be not enough string to feed into the bridge and this just won't work. You can also have the string the other way, where you cut off the ball end and you feed that part into the bridge, and then you just feed the string through as if it was a regular string. And you can do that too. What I like to do is, if it's a wound string, I cut off right before the winding terminates and it's the core, and I just feed the string through the tuners and into the bridge. And so the ball ends will be hanging off the excess string at the headstock. And then at the end of everything, I'll cut that off. So no matter which method you pick, you're gonna wanna feed the strings through the hole in the tuner, through the nut, and then into the corresponding spot in the bridge. Once you do this one string at a time, you're going to want to tighten the string to relative pitch. The string is going to stretch out. You're going to have to tune it. Do this for each string, getting it to relative pitch, kind of stretching it out a bit, getting it kind of almost there. But this is, at this point, an approximate science. And once everything is near pitch, that's when you can remove the temporary bridge block if you haven't blocked the tremolo permanently. So for instructions on how to tune it, check out my video on how to tune a double locking tremolo bridge system. Once you've fed the string through the headstock and locked it down at the bridge, if you have locking tuners, this is when you should tighten them down. And then once everything is locked down and everything is in tune and all that, that's when you can go to the headstock and cut off any excess string. So there you've had it. You've restrung it. Hopefully you've tuned it. Did I leave anything out? Is there anything else you'd like to know? Any questions, comments? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Do all the good YouTube things, like comment, subscribe, print out every frame, etc. And as always, peace. Alright, so here's how to Here's how to restring a floating bridge.